Hello and welcome to my next video. Meister.net is here and today I'm going to explain the visitor pattern. So if you are interested into this pattern, watch this video. Firstly, we look into the UML diagram. We see we have an interface called the iVisitor, and the visitor has two methods. The visit method, which takes an argument from type element A, and the visit method, which takes an argument from element B. Then we have different classes which implement the iVisitor interface. Then we have an object structure which contains different I elements, and each element has a method accept, and this method takes as an argument one visitor. The target of this pattern is to encapsulate each algorithm which can be operated on the object structure in one of these visitor classes here. And the object structure contains all elements which are used by the visitor to operate an algorithm. For example, we have here a warehouse, which is our object structure. Then we have in our warehouse shelves. Each shelf is from type element A, and each shelf contains different products, and each product is, for example, element B. Then we have our two visitor methods. Visitor A operates only on the shelves, and visitor B operates only on the products. Now we look into the source code. I implement some classes. First, the warehouse, which contains a list of shelves or shelves, and the shelf here contains a name and a list of products. The shelf in this case is my element underline A, and the product here contains a name, a price, and a product type. The product type is an enumeration and can be a TV, a smartphone, or a notebook. The product in this case is my element underline B. So the element A and the element B are the same elements like the elements in my UML diagram. We have here element A, my shelf, and the element B, my product. So the first thing what I need for my visitor pattern are the two interfaces. So I create an internal interface, I call it iVisitor, and this visitor provides two internal methods from type void, and I call these methods visit. And the first visit method takes as an argument the element A. So I use inside the arguments the shelf, then I copy this method, and I can defer these methods based on the arguments. So the second visit method takes not the element A, it takes the element B, and this is a product. And then we also need a next interface. I call it the iElement interface, and this interface offers me a method. It is also from type void, and the method calls accept, and as an argument it takes an iVisitor. Well, now we have our two interfaces, if we look into the UML diagram, we have the iVisitor interface and the iElement interface implemented. The next step is that our elements implements the iElement interface. So the shelf, our element A, implements the iElement interface. And also we have to implement this method here, this accept method. Then our product implements also the iElement interface, and also the method has to be implemented. Now we see that we get as an argument the visitor, and the visitor has two methods. Both methods called visit, but we see that one argument is the shelf and one argument is the product, and in our shelf we call the method with the argument shelf, and in our product we call the visit method, which takes as an argument the product. So here in our shelf I say visitor dot visit, and as an argument I take the current instance of the shelf. The same thing is here in our accept method. I say visitor dot visit, and as an argument I use the current instance of the product. We see that this method here is private, so I use here a public void accept method. Also I use in my shelf a public void accept method, and we see that I get a failure. This is because I have to delete the access modifier for my methods which are inside my interfaces. Well, now we can implement our first visitor. Our first visitor is an internal class. I call it the information visitor. And this information visitor implements the iVisitor interface and also the two methods, visit with shelf as an argument and visit with product as an argument. And we said that this pattern separates the algorithm from the object structure. So we have our warehouse, and in this information builder I implement an algorithm which gives me an information about my warehouse. So for that I create a public string builder. I call it string builder. Then I use an internal information visitor for the constructor, and inside this constructor I instantiate my string builder, and I also write into this string builder information about the warehouse. Well, when the visit method is called and takes a shelf as an argument, I want to get information about the shelf, so I say string builder dot append a line break, and then I take from the argument shelf the name as an information. No. the name is only a property in my shelf class here, and we see we have also the product. So inside my visit method here, I create a for each loop product in shelf dot products, and for each product I call the accept method, and as an argument I use the instance of the current visitor. So when I call this method, I came to this method here, which gets as an argument the product, and then I append each information of the product to my string builder. So I say append product dot name. Then I append the price, dot product append dot product dot price, and I also append the type of the product dot append product dot product type dot toString. Sorry, toString. And after that I use also a line break. Well, that's our first visitor object. Now we try it. We have here our warehouse and our initialize method, which returns me a warehouse. We have here the shelf A, which contains 3 products, and we have the shelf B, which contains 2 products. Sorry, that's wrong. Okay, so in my main method here I implement firstly I need an instance of the warehouse, so I call my initialize method. Then I create an instance of my information visitor, and then I call in a for each loop every shelf in the warehouse, and we know that the shelf has the method accept, and I take as an argument the information visitor here. So after this for each loop is finished, I want to print the information to my console, so I say information visitor dot string builder dot toString. So I save this and I start my program, and we see hello world, then the information about the warehouse, that's the first line, so I have instantiate my information visitor. Then we have the shelf A with these 3 products here, the name Samsung, iPhone, Panasonic, the price and the type, and also the shelf B has also 2 products from type notebook. And one advantage of this pattern is that I can also implement more visitors. So I can say, if I want information about the warehouse, which product types I have inside, I can implement a new visitor class and say product types. This class also implements the visitor interface. So we have to implement the methods. And this class has public int the amount of smart phones is 0, so I copy this, then I say TVs and notebooks. So what this visitor is doing is he is counting from each product the product type. So when I visit a shelf, I have to iterate through each product in shelf.products, and I call also here from the product asset method and use this visitor as an argument. And inside this product I implement, for example, a switch statement which ask from the product type the concrete type. So if the product type is a notebook, I say notebooks, or I increment the notebooks. So I copy this. If the type is a smartphone, I increment my smartphones here. And if the type is a TV, I increment my TVs. So I save this, and now inside my method I instantiate a new product visitor or product types is a new product types, and inside my for each loop I use not the information visitor, I use the product types, the instance here, and after this for each loop is finished, I print to the console the amount of products. So I say here notebooks, I copy this line, smartphones, and TVs. So I start the program, and we see we have 2 notebooks, we have 2 smartphones and 1 TV in our warehouse. So if I open this, we see we have here 2 smartphones, we have in our shelf B our 2 notebooks, and we have just 1 TV. Well, that's the visitor pattern. I hope I explained it well for you. So if you like this video, please give me a feedback or subscribe my channel so I can improve my videos for you, and hopefully I see you in the next video, and bye.